Hello. This video is intended to provide guidance for implementing the Flex Plan accommodation. Specifically, we will review the general guidelines of a Flex Plan, show how to access the requested form, and provide an example of how to complete the requested form. Faculty are notified of the Flex Plan request via email from Display Services, not that student. This email is being projected currently. Once faculty receive the notification, Display Services asks that the form be completed within 5 business days to remain in compliance with Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. A few things to be aware of before completing the requested form. Faculty have the right to establish attendance and late work policies. Additionally, this accommodation is not intended to serve as an attendance or assignment submission waiver, since students are still expected to meet essential course requirements. Essential course requirements may include interactive or participatory nature of the course, learning objectives, and accrediting agency standards. Now, let's begin by accessing the form. Once you've done reviewing the email, click on Google Forms hyperlink in the first paragraph, and that'll open up the form in a web browser. It should prompt you to enter in your CU Boulder identity email and password. If there are any troubles with accessing the form, reply to the email. Once you're in, the first page will show you a brief description of the Flex Plan accommodation, along with a link to Display Services website for additional information. When you're ready to begin filling out the form, click Next. This page focuses on the course information, such as the course subject, number, and section, as well as the faculty name. All questions are going to be required, so once both fields are completed, click Next. This page asks, what are the learning objectives for the course? Ideally, these are available in your syllabus or Canvas, and they can be copied here. If not available and you don't have them, the Center for Teaching and Learning has some resources for you to create them. Click Next when you're ready. This page focuses on absences beyond course policy. The first question is, what is the course policy regarding attendance, including participation points such as a clicker question? This ideally is available in the syllabus or Canvas and can be copied right here. Next question asks, how many additional excused absences may be provided without lowering academic standards for achieving the learning objectives? You have options to select from, or you may select other if the course flexibility does not fit into one of the options available. An example could be that if flexibility is reasonable on days without active student participation that factors into their grading, such as a day when the student is expected to present. If no flexibility can be provided, select Other and explain what learning objectives would not be met as a result of additional absences and why they would not be met based on essential course components. The last question regarding attendance is if the student misses an exam or quiz due to a disability-related need, how will this be addressed? You have the option to select from again, or you may select Other if the course flexibility does not quite fit in one of the options available. For example, you may choose to select the exam can be rescheduled and choose to select Other and state it must be rescheduled within 48 hours. Otherwise, the answer key is released and it's no longer reasonable to provide that exam. When you're ready, click Next. This page focuses on deadline extensions beyond course policy. The first question is, what is the course policy for submitting assignments late? Consider papers, projects, mostly out of the classroom environment things. This can ideally be copied and pasted from your syllabus or Canvas. The last question for you, how much of a deadline extension may be provided without lowering academic standards for achieving the learning objectives? Again, you have options to select from, or you may select Other if the course flexibility does not fit into one of the options available. An example could be that course policy states students receive a 10% grade reduction for each day that the assignment is turned in late. In this case, the additional flexibility could be that they may turn the assignment late for up to 24 hours without incurring that grade reduction. However, for each day after the 24 hours, they begin to receive a 10% grade reduction. Similar to attendance, If no flexibility can be provided, select Other and explain what learning objectives would not be met as a result of extended deadlines and why they would not be met based on essential course components. Click Next when you're ready. This page focuses on communication expectations specifically for the student, and it states that students are required to email the course professor as soon as possible or within 48 hours of the missed class period, exam quiz, or assignment deadline. Additionally, this section specifies that faculty cannot request any further documentation, including medical information, from the student when they wish to utilize the flex plan accommodation. Once you're done reviewing this page, click Next. The final page is a submission page. Here, we specify the role of display services in implementing the accommodation. If display services staff need to clarify any course information, faculty will be contacted by email and asked to respond within 2 business days. Once the draft is finalized, that's when display services will send a copy to the student and request their feedback, also within the next 2 business days. Separately, faculty are reminded here that students can be approved or elect to request display-related accommodations at any point during the academic year. However, such accommodations are not retroactive. Once you're done with this page, click Submit. At this point, you've completed the form, and you should receive a confirmation email from Google Forms with a copy of the information you submitted. Thank you for viewing this video. Contact dsflex@colorado.edu for any questions regarding the flex plan accommodation. Thank you for your partnership.